Now, back in 2022, one of the things that were boosting sales on the new energy vehicles were, of course, the tax exemptions or the subsidies which was being offered by the Chinese government. I mean, these helped companies like NIO to, of course, see, of course, demand coming in because consumers knew they were going to get, of course, benefits when they go for EV cars rather than going for the normal, of course, engine or gas cars, which is something that obviously, like I said, it boosted, of course, sales on almost all EV stocks in China, which was a good thing. Right now, you'll know that, of course, that or those tax exemptions or subsidies expired end of 2022, which part of the reason why probably we've been seeing not some companies struggling to get, of course, sales like NIO is because of the subsidies that, of course, sort of like expired in 2022. So this is the reason, or it is for these reasons where, of course, we saw, of course, some of the car companies reducing their prices on their EV cars, trying to, of course, capture or trying to get those consumers or get more consumers into coming and buy their EV cars. I mean, recently you will know that by now that NIO also participated into announcing price cuts on all of their fleet, on all of their vehicles, trying to make sure that their prices on their cars become attractive. And that move by NIO, ladies and gents, it was a bullish move as it is expected to bring in more consumers into buying the NIO cars. Now today, ladies and gents, over and above the good news that we saw NIO cutting the prices, today we received more good news of saying that China is, of course, planning to officially resume the, of course, tax exemptions or subsidies from the 1st of January 2024 to December of 2025, which is something that obviously that once again it is a catalyst that will boost, of course, these new energy vehicles like what we saw, of course, happening in 2022. This is something that is definitely going to boost, or it is a bullish thing, because those that buy the new energy vehicle cars like NIO, ladies and gents, they will be able to get a subsidy of around 30,000 RMB or Chinese yuan, or up to 30,000 RMB or Chinese yuan, which equates to roughly around $4,000, which this is something that is incredible, right? And something that most definitely it will revive, because we saw the kind of good news that comes with the benefits or with the tax exemptions, which of course makes the consumers to prefer buying, of course, these EV cars over and above the gas cars, which obviously, like I said, or as I'm thinking out loud, looking at what happened in 2022, I personally believe that this will bring a serious boost over and above the boost that we are going to get from almost all new energy vehicles that reduce or introduce their price cut. This is going to bring in more demand, which, ladies and gents, it is going to make stocks like NIO to deliver more vehicles even in 2024. I mean, we can expect to see some heavy deliveries or some massive delivery numbers coming out of stocks like NIO, because over and above the price cuts which they introduced a couple of weeks ago, January 2024, we are going to see tax exemptions or subsidies kicking in of up to 30,000 RMB or Chinese yuan, which equates to roughly around $4,000. So I'm very excited about this kind of news, ladies and gents, because I personally believe that with this, NIO will get, of course, some serious revival from, of course, these tax exemptions or subsidies, as more consumers will definitely come, or as they will motivate inflows from consumers in China to go consider buying, of course, this new energy vehicle cars, or prefer buying the new energy vehicle cars over the gas cars. Otherwise, before I forget, that so you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. And I really appreciate if you can just hit the likes button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about the new energy vehicles tax exemptions or subsidies, which are expected to start January the 1st of 2024 up until December 2025. These are good news to almost all new energy vehicle companies, and for a stock like NIO, it will once again bring in more demand over and above the demand that we'll get to see this year from the price cuts that NIO introduced. So if you're enjoying this kind of content, hit the likes button, as it also helps with YouTube's algorithm. Otherwise, if you have not subscribed, I'll also appreciate if you can just hit the subscribe button and hit or click that notification bell, so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. So yes, this article we read today, it's a bullish to almost all new energy vehicles car companies in China. these 30,000 RMB will be taken off from their tax when they purchase their vehicles, which is something that will encourage, of course, the consumers, like I said, to consider buying the new cars or consider buying the new energy vehicle cars over and above the gas cars. Now, one of the things is that it is not going to end there. The good news is that it is not going to end there. From January or the 1st of January 2026 to, of course, December of 2027, Chinese government is also planning to also continue with the subsidies, but during that period they are looking at, of course, introducing subsidies of around 15,000 RMB, which equates to roughly around $2,000, which again that will encourage or bring in more demand into the new energy vehicle. So these, like I said, are good news, because, ladies and gents, these are going to invite, or these tax exemptions is going to, of course, invite a lot of consumers in China to consider buying new energy vehicles like NIO, which, ladies and gents, it makes me to be really excited, because I know the demand in next year chances are very high that it will increase even from this year, which means that those that are investing into new energy vehicles, companies like NIO, are definitely going to be rewarded, because with more deliveries comes more revenues, which obviously will mean that the company will be rewarding their investors by seeing, of course, also the share price recovering from that. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates about the kind of news we read today of the tax exemptions or subsidies that the Chinese government or China is planning to implement from January 2024 up until December of 2025. These are good news, as I've said, because they will drive in more sales or bring in more sales onto stocks like NIO, which obviously I cannot wait to see the demand that will come, especially for NIO, as it is the stock that I'm heavily invested in the stock market. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this live video, like I said, hit that like button, as it also helps with YouTube's algorithm. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. Before you load the boat, buy any new energy vehicle company that is listed, please do make sure that you do your own due diligence, so that at least you can be comfortable when you are investing into the stock market. I mean, of course, you know that NIO yesterday announced, of course, a company buying shares, or their shares worth $1.1 billion, which obviously you know that those 84 million shares are definitely going to bring a share dilution into the NIO stock, or into the NIO, of course, outstanding shares, which, looking on where NIO is going, I don't think it's a train smash. We are still expecting this company to grow, which, of course, I personally believe that investors, or even those that are investing onto this company right now, chances are they're going to be rewarded, because NIO is doing, or it's in preparation of delivering vehicles of between 20 to 30,000 vehicles starting from the second half of this year, which is something that is incredible. Now, with the tax exemptions coming next year, we can easily expect NIO to deliver, of course, if their production is right, close to probably 50,000 vehicles on a month to month, sometimes next year, which would be so great if NIO can be able to achieve that. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.